Welcome into Taco Bowler Gaming. My name is Taco Bowler, and today we have a new kind of video. This is kind of a timeline video, of which I have many on my channel. You can see the playlist at the end of this video. But it's also kind of a guide. We're going to try and guide for some of the 3 new achievements, some of the 8 new achievements in 1.31. Spice Girls, The Power of 3, and Wonderful. I believe that the best nation for that is Castile. The reason being that the Power 3 is pretty easy because they have colonies galore. There are enough wonders over here, although admittedly I think it's a little bit easier if you are a Buddhist nation in the east, as there are many, many wonders over in the main region of the update. But most importantly, for Spice Girls, Iberian nations have a modifier that they have more likely to get a female ruler. This is because of the Iberian wedding event needing a female ruler in one of these 2 nations to fire. So they have that modifier. So you're more likely to get the female ruler, which means you're more likely to have a female ruler when you need one to achieve the Spice Girls achievement. So I highly suggest starting as Castile. Aragon will also work, particularly if you don't have Golden Century, but I find Castile to be a little bit easier for colonizing, so I went with Castile. You're going to begin this campaign as a standard Castile start. I usually take Navarra, I don't vassalize or anything. But you're going for the Iberian wedding, you're going to try and get Granada. When Naples goes free, if you have not already done the Iberian wedding, go ahead and try to claim their throne. I managed to do that. I think that may be a mission or something. But just try and get the Castile start. For me, Granada was guaranteed by the Ottomans or allied to the Ottomans, so I had to attack Morocco and take it piece by piece. But eventually I would get there and be working down the missions tree for Castile. Another thing that I did was I managed to get this from England. This is a very well-placed fort in the woods. It's a really good thing to get if you can nab it from England before France takes it. And then you just colonize down, and eventually you're going to colonize over. You can see that I have begun colonizing over here. For Spice Girls, you want to colonize as much as you can in this general region feeding into the Caribbean. As much as you can in there, at least getting the trade centers, the estuaries, and the centers of trade as much as you can so that you can get all that trade power. For Spice Girls achievement, you need to have a female ruler, but you need to have trading bonuses for cloves, spices, salt, and sugar. You get the trading bonuses by having trade power in regions where those trade goods are being produced. So you actually have to get the trade power in the region, not necessarily own those provinces, although that can also help. This is actually something I did not understand as I was going through my run, but maybe something that you can help understand and guide your conquests a little bit better than I had done. So here at the beginning, a lot of the sugar and a lot of the, what was the other one? Cloves is over here. There is some salt over here as well, but a lot of that is here. So if you can control the trade power here, you will get those trading bonuses no problem. You need to have control of 20% of the trade. And so to get that bonus, and you can drop below 20% a little bit, but not for too long if you're going to get that there. So go ahead and get this going here. I will mention if you want Wonderful, there is a province up here that has a wonder that can be moved, but I don't know if you can activate it when it's moved to your capital. But if you want to move that, you need to colonize that province that is not one of your 5 and pay to move it and pay the manpower and stuff to move it before your colonial nation gets a hold of it, because if your colonial nation gets a hold of it, it will move to their capital, not to yours. Just something to think about. There also is a wonder over here in the Yucatan if you don't care about the mission tree and you want to just grab that one. There is a wonder over here that I think can be upgraded. I'm not sure. For all the wonders, you've probably dealt with this by now in 1.31, but you have to meet certain criteria to to get that. I went ahead and got 8. They're all over here, and you can get them as Catholic Castile, Catholic Spain. So I will show those there. And actually, there's a new wonder in Castile, so you don't even need one of these. But there's just something to think about. But yeah, for now, you're going to be just colonizing out here. You're going to form your 3 colonial nations in whatever order you want. You just make the first 3, the 3 different kinds, and boom, there's the first achievement of this run. But for Spice Girls, you're going to want to get as much of, like I said, Colombia, Mexico, Caribbean, Louisiana, and Eastern America, coastal Eastern America, as you can get. If you can get the personal union on Portugal as well, that is a very good thing to get, as they will begin to colonize down here. Now, I am also working on getting over here. The spices are all right here. So you're going to have to conquest a lot over here for spices in Indonesia. Mainly if you can get this island and maybe this island here, those 2 will give you enough for the benefit. But I'm colonizing the Cape. I'm trying to get over here as I'm colonizing over here as well. And if you do have Golden Century, you can follow the tree, the mission tree here in the Yucatan, to get claims all up here, and you can slowly grow up here, and you don't have to worry about rebels. Works out pretty well. Now, salt I found to be the most difficult one to get. Salt is, you can see I'm going up here to Paris. There's 2 wonders in Paris. That's why I did this. If you're just going for Spice Girls, you do not need to worry at all about conquering France. You can let France be France. You can even ally France if they'll let you. But that's just something I did as I was going for Wonderful, because there are 2 wonders in Paris that you can activate. Anyway, salt is all around the world. There's some salt. There's actually some salt in Liberia. There's some salt down here in Tunis. You'll see me come down here. You can get salt in this colonized province. You can get salt in both of these. There's some salt in Timbuktu. There is a little bit of salt in South America. And there is quite a bit of salt in the middle here. There's some salt over here in Crimea. There's some salt over here in West Anatolia. And there was some salt in Ming, and there was some salt over here. Some colonizable provinces that can have salt in Taiwan. And so I was, at this point, trying to get as much salt as I could get so that I could get that trade bonus. Didn't quite understand how that was going. What I should have been doing is, yes, I could conquer the salt provinces, but what I should have been doing was conquering the centers of trade in those places so that I would have control of the trade. It didn't matter if I controlled the actual salt or not, just that I controlled the trade. So another thing that you can do with that is, if you do happen to control salt provinces, if you happen to control salt provinces in provinces with trade good of salt, in nodes you control a lot of the trade, like say Sevilla or Tunis or Sophie, or even if you conquer down into West Africa, getting some of that salt in Ivory Coast and Timbuktu trade nodes. If you happen to control the salt provinces in those nodes, you can develop those provinces so that they produce a larger share of the global production of salt. If you develop them, you need to develop them in diplomatic power, so that can supplement some of the conquest, but particularly if you're going to conquest, getting Alexandria and Constantinople, getting trade power in those places, very, very good. And eventually, and also Ming. If you can transfer trade power from Ming, transfer trade power from the Ottomans, transfer trade power from the Mamluks, have a little bit of trade power in those places as you begin transferring of trade power, sometimes that might do it. Ultimately, what I will be doing is I will actually get the achievement in roughly 1670, actually when I had fully occupied England and therefore was taking their trade because I controlled the English Channel. So that is, that brought me from about 17% to 21%, got the trading bonus, and got the achievement. I have paused it here though in 1599 because this was the moment when I finally got a female heir. And so my conquest went into overdrive to try and have those trade bonuses whenever my female heir happened to take the throne. She lived a very long time, and it's a very good thing she did. I think she died about 6 months after I actually finally got the achievement for Spice Girls, but so that kind of sends my conquest into overdrive, and you'll begin to see that I really conquest, particularly here, in going after the Ottomans and their salt, the Mamluks and their salt, going for Tunis and the salt provinces here, and I will even take a couple of salt provinces from the Ming. You can kind of see that going. But that is your guide to Spice Girls. You do that, you can develop the salt provinces and the places you have amassed control. You can get some more salt, get some trade nodes in these areas here, funnel them in, do that, and eventually, if you want to, you can conquer the English Channel and get whatever England's bringing in for theirs. They had a good portion of the salt. You can get some of that as well, and you can just kind of get that. Otherwise, you conquer down here for spices, and you colonize the New World for sugar and cloves, and you should have the achievement. Shouldn't be too hard. Lastly, I do want to talk about Wonderful. As you can see that I am growing here. I went for 8 wonders, and those wonders are in, go ahead and get all the way to where we are at the end. In fact, I'm just going to click right here. So this is the end, and you can see that I have quite a bit of land. You can see that I have the land over here. I do have the stuff from Ming, and you can check the ledger, trade, strategic goods, and you can see the trading bonus. That's what you're looking for. You need 20% of the market share, and here in salt, I only have 17 left, but I had 20 when I was occupying England, so I got that. And then you go down here, spices, I have 29%, sugar, I have 46%, and cloves, I have 54%. So definitely have the trading bonuses from those. Salt, again, the hardest one, but I think I would just conquer a little bit more to get the centers of trade around Anatolia. I've kind of already gotten this stuff here. Try and get that, and again, the English Channel, not a bad place to be. So the wonders that I did this with, you have right here in upper in Granada proper, you have the famous Alhambra that has this. Doesn't matter what the powers are, you just need to get them up to level 8, but this one you should conquer on pretty much any Castile game, I would think. That is there. There's supposed to be a new wonder in Toledo or Madrid, but it would appear that my game currently does not have that. You might have to start it in the newest patch, 1.6 I think, or 1.3 1.6 I think, or 1.3 1.5 to get that, but there should be a wonder around here somewhere in your game if you're starting it now. The second wonder I got was in Lisboa that is no longer present. There was supposed to be that wonder. Well, we can bug out with the change of guard, but there was a wonder in Lisboa. I think that wonder is supposed to still exist, but it was supposed to change in 1.36. One of the reasons I wanted to get this done so much. Then I did conquer up into Paris. There are 2 in Paris, Notre Dame, which you can see has some pretty good stuff, and Versailles, which less, but okay, that's good. Then I also came down here. There is a province right here, De Monte, that has this thing. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that wonder, but I did that one. You can do this, no problem, and you can upgrade all of this. It is worth mentioning that to upgrade this one, I believe you have to convert this to Catholic, or convert yourself to Islam if you want. And for this one, you have to accept French culture for both of these. Worth noting. Then I also went for London. Now London, in my game, in all games, should have the Tower of London. Again, you have to accept English culture to make this happen, to use this, but then you can do that. They should have Tower of London in all games. Stonehenge is one of the 4 movable ones. And here again, you have to either have your religion, have converted it to your religion, and be in pagan, or the culture of the province that it's in be English, and that be accepted. I don't know if you move it, if that changes to your culture, you would have to culture convert your capital. Basically, just leave it there. It starts over here, but England had moved it to their capital when I conquered it, so it was there. So I didn't have to conquer all the way over there. But Stonehenge, you may have to search for Stonehenge over there if England doesn't move it in your game, but it was moved to London in my game. So there are 2 more. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here was 6, 7, and then there are a bunch of wonders that I could do nothing with. For instance, I conquered Gaza because I thought I could do something with the pyramids. Nope. Actually, maybe I could. If I had accepted Egyptian, I might have been able to do something with the pyramids. I am seeing that right now. Let me, do I have power? I have power. Let me state that. Do not have enough. Oh, I do. Okay, so Egyptian. Here we go. Cairo. Okay, so I could have done this. Well, that's good. We can take a look at how much it does. So I could have done this. Didn't have to get the rest, but there is another one you can do. The Great Pyramids in Gaza and or in Cairo, and you can see what they give you. Some advisor cost, idea cost, clergy equilibrium, not too bad. If you want to upgrade a pyramid, if you want to upgrade any great project, the first one going from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 is 1,000 ducats. From 2 to 3, or 1 to 2, I guess, there is 3,500 ducats, and I believe this one is 8,000 ducats, if I'm remembering correctly. So you can have that there, and you just click that button right there, and then you can spend more money or manpower, and you can spend it a bunch of times to get it done. And then when you can't spend it anymore, it's ready. You just unpause for a day and it's done. And you can see the next one, 2,500. All right. And again, let me just quickly get this done with some manpower. And go 1 day or a couple of days. Okay, yeah. So it's 5,000. I think that may have changed. Those numbers do not sound like what I paid. May have gone down a little bit in the latest patch, but so there's Gaza. The last one I actually did was this one here, the mausoleum. You don't have to have anything special for this one, this mausoleum, and that gives you some pretty good stuff, I would say. The Ottomans are special. There is Hagia Sophia here, but you have to be Orthodox, Coptic, or Muslim. Actually, Catholic is now an option. That was definitely not an option when I was playing this. So now you can have Hagia Sophia here in Constantinople. So that's a good. You can technically have St. Peter's in Rome. That's open to you if you're Catholic. But if you're Catholic and you own Rome, you get Catholic penalties for owning Rome. So note that. Another one that you can go for is here in Cologne. The Cologne Cathedral certainly would be available to you. There's a few more in the Empire if you really want to go searching for them. But ones to watch out for is there are wonders down here. I actually have a core on this province. I guess I've finally lost it. There are ones down here, but again, you have to, these are not as open to you as they should be. Although this one now does appear, that bottom one, the culture is there and culture is accepted by owner, so maybe that would be open for you. This is the Dharmic religion group, can't do that one. I did come down here because there were 2 that was there. The last one I want to point out, I didn't actually go for, but is worth noting, is up here in Japan. Where are you? Right here. Musashi, Japan, is this one. Nothing special about it at all. But look at this. War taxes cost minus 50%. War taxes cost minus 50%. War taxes cost minus 100%. If you're just looking for wonders, that's a really good one to go for. But there are some wonders around that you can get. Yeah. That is how you get wonderful. You just conquer up to places. Paris and London really, really good places to get. There should be one in Castile's capital. They're already going to conquer Granada quickly. There should be another one in Lisboa, which you get through the mission tree. So that is another reason why I did want to do wonderful with Castile again, because it's just so available to them. But I hope you have found this guide helpful. Please do leave any comments and questions if you have further questions on that front. But I have been TBARW Gaming, and I will see you next time.